Hey, it's Jamila from Buy Pink, and I'm back again for another Adobe Illustrator tutorial. In today's tutorial, I am going to show you guys how to warp text or to bend text and make it, move and be cool and all that good stuff. Um, Before I get started, I'd like for you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell notification so you can be notified of all of my new videos. At the end of this video, I do mess around a little bit with the pen tool and bending lines and all that good stuff, and I'll explain it when I get down there. So the first thing that I like to do whenever I am working with text is I like to type all my text out. I had an idea in my head of how I wanted to do this. So I typed each line in its own text box. And after I got done typing everything, I just selected everything, and the way I select all of the lines is just drag your mouse over everything to highlight or to capture everything or highlight everything. I really should know the technical terms for all this stuff by now. And then hold shift and drag to make it bigger. So once I've gotten everything to a size similar to what I think I want, and just so you know, my canvas is 12 by 12, and I use 12 by 12 because mostly everything that I do is going to be used in Cricut Design Space or some kind of cutting software. But then I go up to the warp options. If you don't see that, you should be able to push or click on window and then click warp options. And I choose the type of warp that I want for each thing. I kind of wanted it to wrap around, and I wanted meat to be fat and to fit into that area. So I just played around with everything until I got it to where I wanted it. As you can see, while I'm playing around with the word meat, there are several different types of warp you can do. There's the wavy line that I did on the first and third line, and there's arcs, and there's bloating, flags. There's a bunch of different things, and you just kind of play around with it until you find something that works for you. You can also adjust the intensity or whatever of that effect. So I just continued until I got it all in there the way I wanted it. As totally unplanned as it was, once I got done, it kind of looked like a fish to me, so I decided to go in and play with the pen tool a little bit. I don't have a whole lot of experience with the pen tool, so I'm just kind of winging it here. But basically with the pen tool, you just make your points, and you can make a curve with the points. So that's what you see me doing here. You always have to you click to finish your point. Now it has that weird gray color in there because the fill color is on. So what I did is I went in and turned the fill color off, and the stroke color on, and then I ended up playing around with the stroke a little bit to see what I like the best. And in the end, I think I just made the stroke bigger. So I decided to go back in with my pen tool, and I made a little face for the fish. I'm gonna probably have to play around with the pen a little bit more because I can think of quite a bit of things that I could do with it. But I don't think my fish turned out too horrible. Um, Also, you can get this file below if you don't want to try to make it yourself. Just click the link in the description and you can grab the SVG files. It includes all 4 files. Once I was satisfied with my adorable little fish, I once again selected everything, went up to Object and Expand. And you have to do this to convert the text layers to compound paths so that they work as a SVG. Um, Once I got in there and got to looking at it, I decided that I wanted to change to add some color. So I changed the word meat and the word swallow to a red color. And I did that by going into my layers panel and selecting the text that I wanted to change, and then going over to my color dropper and changing it to red. And I just repeated that with swallow. Once I was satisfied with the look of my design, I went in and chose all the light colors and went to my Pathfinder. And as you can see there, those lines are touching. So you have to basically weld them together so that when you go and put it into your cutter, it does not cut through. So you want to make sure you select all the light colors that you know, everything that you want. So once you're satisfied with your design, the last step is to go ahead and save it to the file types that you like, that you want to save it in. If you're using a cutting machine, SVG is probably the most important. If you are also making designs to sell, you also want to include the EPS, DXF, and PNG. So to save as an SVG and EPS, you're going to go up to the File menu and click Save. You can find them all in Save As also, but Save includes SVG, EPS, and then a few other files. If you want to just save as a PNG, which is not going to give you your extra colors, or DXF, you need to go to Save As. Make sure that you give your files a name that you can find. I always give my files and create a new folder in the same name. Now we're going to load it into Cricut Design Space, and I'm just going to do this real quick so that you can see that we've saved, and it'll load into 2 separate layers. Go to Upload File, Browse, and locate the file that you want to upload into Design Space. When you load an SVG into Cricut Design Space, you don't have to choose to cut or to print and cut, it just automatically does that for you. Go ahead and load your design onto your canvas, resize it, and cut.